All right, here I am in the corner, ready to show you this stretch that you can easily do anywhere. You can do it at work, you can do it in school. All you need is a chair. You can also do this standing up and laying on the ground. So I'll show you all three ways. So if you're sitting in a chair, the best thing to do here is sit on the end because you don't want to be sitting on your tailbone. Okay, so make sure you're not sitting on your tailbone. You have a nice curve in your low back. So it's almost like you're squatting. Okay, and then just lift one leg, cross it over so your ankle's like right above your knee, and then you're just gonna hinge forward. It's not even a lot, it's just like a little, like the wind blew you over a little bit, and then you just hold it here. So let me show you what it looks like from the front. It's just the slightest hinge, and you're gonna feel it right here in the glute, in the hip area, which we always are tense here because of either the way that we stand or the way we move or the way we sit. So it's always a good idea to stretch this area. This is a staple stretch for me. So hold this here maybe about 30 seconds and then take that leg all the way down. So let me show you from this angle. So now my heel is up, my toes are pointing to the ceiling, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm just hinging forward so I feel it all on the back of the leg. So another 30 seconds here, then do the other side. Same thing, then your leg down, same thing, and then repeat it. So do each side twice. It will feel so good. And if you want to do it standing, it's the same thing, you're just standing. So hang on to something, like I do this in my kitchen all the time. Hang on to the countertop, cross the leg, and I just kind of sit back. And then I can feel it here and all the way down. And then the same thing, put my heel down, and then hinge forward with my toe towards the ceiling. And then if you wish to do it on the ground, just lay all the way down. Knees are bent, you cross this leg over, and then just grab the back of your thigh and pull it in, but make sure your shoulders are on the ground so you're not up like this, so you're laying all the way down. And again, you'll feel that in that same area. And then to stretch the back of the leg, just lift this leg and pulse it, pulse it, pulse it. So there you have 3 options. Give yourself 2 minutes. Your entire body will thank you for it. Okay, this is for when you have a little bit more time, maybe 3 to 5 minutes to stretch. So do you ever feel like you have a tight tailbone, or maybe it's even showing up in your low back? Well, a reason for that is like tight, clenched butt cheeks. So because either you're sitting too much or it's the way you carry yourself, that your glutes have just been in like this locked position and your hips are like thrusting forward, so then they're pulling on your low back and they're just creating all this tension and stiffness and pain like right here. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna free the tailbone, so to speak, and we're gonna do that by relaxing the booty cheeks. So I'm gonna show you my favorite way to do that. And this will require either a massage ball, you can use a tennis ball, a lacrosse ball, a ball, maybe one of the dog's toys, or an apple that's not too squishy. Or you can take your booty band and you can roll it up really tight and then just have like the rubber part on top. So have either of those options available, and let me show you what we're gonna do. You'll also need a chair, or you can use your couch. All right, so you're gonna get up here, scooch all the way in so your thighs are elevated. So you're gonna take your ball, or whatever it is, let me scooch back so you can see everything. All right, so we're gonna release the cheeks. They're too tight, let them free. So you're gonna take your ball, or whatever you're working with, you're gonna lift, and you're gonna find an area like where your jean pocket would be. So it's not gonna be on your sit bone back there. Find a juicy piece of real estate. Come on, we got room to work with back here, right? So settle in. When you find a spot, all you're gonna do is relax, okay? So no tension, just relax here. So how long you hold this is anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute. For time's sake today, we'll only do like 30 seconds. But just imagine this ball is like a strawberry, okay? And the more it sits here, hopefully the softer the booty's getting. So it's almost gonna be like melting over to that ball, or it should feel like the ball is pushing into the glutes, okay? But also make sure your legs are relaxed up here. In order to release tension, relax, help yourself out a little bit. You can put your arms down and stay here for another 10 seconds before we switch to the other side. So this is your first time doing it. So give yourself a couple tries so you can really feel the difference, because it's really amazing once you feel the difference. So go ahead, lift it out. And before we go to the other side, you want to check in with how this side feels. Right away, it should feel like this side is almost closer to the ground and your other side is elevated because it's so tense. So now we'll go to the other side and even it out. So again, where your jean pocket would be, find a cushy space and then just let it be, and we'll even it out. So if you don't feel that release that I was talking about, try this again, because you will feel it, and it's like that immediate satisfaction, that immediate result that you can feel that you did. Maybe you just needed to hold it a little bit longer since you haven't done this before. But the key here is to just relax. So we're loosening up the glute muscles, so when we go into these next moves to like free your tailbone and your low back, the booty will be not as tight, so we have a better chance at doing it. And if you've been chronically tight for years, you know, it's gonna take more than one time to do it, right? But a very relaxing stretch that you can do while watching TV or just whatever. Whenever you can give yourself 5 minutes on the ground. Hang here for 5 more seconds. All right, take that ball out. You can put the ball aside or whatever you were using. Everything should feel more close to the ground and more relaxed. So now I'm gonna take you into, we're gonna do a little bit of a lift using only our hamstrings. So this is gonna help release your tailbone area. So I'm gonna push my legs into the surface and I'm just gonna lift while only using my hamstrings to do this. So you'll know if that's true, go ahead and give your booty a jiggle. Does it jiggle? All right, up. So by doing this, by activating the hamstrings and not using your glutes, you're leaving a space to sort of free that tailbone, okay? So it's just a little lift. Practice doing this. Practice getting familiar with how to control your muscles, how to relax your muscles. Okay, so just do this for like 30 seconds and see if you can find relief in your low back and your tailbone area. So remember, it's important to make sure the glutes are not working here, okay? Use your hamstrings. And that's why you do that check. Go ahead and feel your booty. Make sure it's soft and squishy. Your hamstrings should be firm because they're the ones doing the work. All right, it takes practice. This is a new move, right? Haven't done it before. So practice it. And I'm gonna show you one more move that you can practice to free the tailbone and low back. All right, so the third one is just roll over, get onto your hands and knees. Now, when you're on your hands and knees, make sure everything is even. You're not pushing on one side more than the other. Your knees are right under your hips. Your shoulders are right under your shoulders. The tops of my feet are going to be flat, and you want to make sure everything is lined up here. So your rib cage and your pelvis are all stacked. So you're not going to be like this. Everything's going to be even. And then you're just going to kind of do a little bit of a pelvic tilt. Again, not using your glutes. Okay, so try to keep this area relaxed, and you're just like, I'm curving my pelvis just like this. So it's very similar to like if you were doing a cat-cow, but it's not as exaggerated. It's just the pelvic area. So it's just, think of it as like your junk drawer is stuck. Instead of forcing it open, we're just doing these little shimmies back and forth. Okay, and if you're having a hard time doing this, without using the glute muscles, because remember, we don't want to use them right now because we need to free the tailbone. So if you're having a hard time with that, take your heels and back them up against something, maybe on the bottom of your couch or a wall, and push your heels into that wall. That will activate your hamstrings and hopefully help you keep the booty out of the equation. And then add these little shimmies, okay? Freeing that tailbone. So remember, in order to free the tailbone, activate the hamstrings, keep the glutes nice and soft. And again, practice and you will get it. You'll be able to feel the difference in getting some movement and relief in your low back and tailbone area. All right, enjoy and free the cheeks.